Welcome to today's video. Today we are going to do a side-by-side comparison of Windows 11 and Windows 10. So we've got two computers, different specs, one with a clean version of Windows 10 installed and one with a clean version of Windows 11 installed. So the left one is Windows 11 and the right one is Windows 10. So we're going to just log in a second and take you to the welcome screen. So just let me do the passwords. As you can see on both of these computers, what each of them looks like. So I'm just going to make it identical. So we've only got the recycle bin and Edge on both of them. So we're connected remotely to both screens so we can record what's going on two computers. So resolutions might be slightly out, but we're trying to like for like. So first thing that we do notice is the taskbar is slightly bigger on Windows 11 here than it is on Windows 10. There is, resolutions aside, there is a slight difference there, which gives more space for the icons, as you can even see above and below the Edge icon, for example, in Windows 11 here, compared to the Edge icon in Windows 10. Now, Windows 11, the icons are in the middle of the screen, whereas in 10 they're on the left, which is how we normally use it. Now, if you're one of these people that want to keep it on one side, right click on the taskbar set and go to taskbar settings, and in the taskbar behavior you can have it on the left hand side, so it matches like for like. I'm going to leave it in the center, just so that, because this is the default settings, and the start menu here to access this uses pinned icons here, and you've got the same here with pinning here, but no live tiles. So where these change, like the weather, that's gone. It's now just icons, and then you've got recommended stuff on the bottom. We are currently running a trial of older versions of Office to see what works and what doesn't work. So this is our test computer for doing that. So far we found a working version of 2013 and it worked out of the box. So nothing much has changed from what we can see compatibility wise, but that doesn't mean all applications. At the moment this is a Microsoft application, and that's worked. So to see the start menu, you click on all apps as you got here, and the same on here. That is just on the left hand side, so you got none of the stuff on the right hand side, and then you can scroll down as well as you can do on this screen as well. You can scroll down. Let me just get back onto this. All apps. It's the downside when you're on two different screens at the same time. So scroll down, and as you can see, a lot of the icons are similar. Now things have changed, like the weather icon. You see a weather logo compared to what you see in Windows 10. Okay, coming back to this, so that's the start menu compared. We don't want to go too much into that. Edge, as far as we're concerned, it's an application like for like. Now, if I was to go to a website, you see different news stories. The look and feel of Edge is the same. Now, ignore the news stories for the moment. One thing that you see here compared to what you see in Windows 10 is this resize button. You can resize a window, but you get these extra options. So you can make something appear to the side so that it takes a partial screen. It doesn't have to, but if you have things that you want to see side by side, then that's very useful to have. So that's Edge. That's a quick change with Edge and Windows as general, when File Explorer, whatever. Next, search. So the search icon is just an icon. There's no Cortana here, as you can see on the right screen. You've got the Cortana here in Windows 10. That's all essentially merged into search. So when you look at search here, top apps appears. You can then see trending information, quick searches has moved there. Windows 10 is showing about COVID information, which move that to one side. And then you've got a search bar at the top. Now, if you prefer the search bar just to be an icon in Windows 10, just like 11, now that search bar is at the bottom, which in my opinion is actually the better place to keep it. I wouldn't put the search at the top. I would have it at the bottom, because most people, okay, let's not say most people, a percentage of people will click that search button and start typing in a program. But some people will first click there and then click there and then type. Not everyone starts typing straight away. So if you're part of the group that just clicks the icon and starts typing, fine. So let's just show you what a comparison looks like. So there's the look and feel of calculator, just so you know. But going back to my other point is, if you are clicking here, then you click there, then you type, well, now you've created more time to get to the result, because you're traveling further with the mouse just to get to where you are. So that's one small tweak that we would have. Now, my suggestion here is to have an option to say you want the search at the top or you want the search bar at the bottom. That's the only thing I would say. So that you've got the option, depending on who's using the computer, where these things are. It's a small tweak, the window size doesn't change, so just having that ability would be nice in our opinion. And then you've got feedback and options. So as you can see, options there, and on the right, Windows 10 options there. So very little has changed. You can even see the build information, 2021, 1105, and even all these numbers are the same. So the way it works is essentially exactly the same. It's just the look and feel of the icons with the search. So that's that one. So as we mentioned, no Cortana. Next, multiple desktops, which you've got there. You have the same thing in Windows 10, believe it or not, in Task View. So you've got the ability, new desktop. So that's very useful if you want to have web browsing in one, email in another, work in another, etc. Not everyone will use the feature, but it's good to have, especially if you've got one screen. Not everyone has two free screens. 2 or 3 screens, correction. So that's something that's quite useful to have, multiple desktops. The task view feature is useful because it shows you applications you've used. So if I was to have File Explorer open, now click this icon here, you can see the programs that you had open at the top. So the way they've done it is they've kept the desktops at the bottom and the programs at the top. Likewise, the same with they've just reversed it on Windows 10 compared to 11. Now if I have 2 programs open, so I'm just going to have Edge and File Explorer open. Some of you will have utilized Alt Tab, so the Alt key and the Tab key. So if I click in the window and do Alt and then Tab, you can see what happens in Windows 10. So that's how it happens in Windows 10. If I do the same thing in Windows 11, you've still got the feature there. The difference you can see is everything's what's the word? You can't see what's in the background, but you know you had programs open in the background. So going back to Windows 10, you still see what you have open without anything being hidden in the background. That's small changes, you know, benefits some people, doesn't benefit others, but it's a good feature, shall we say. Okay, next, you know, the computers, looking at the network connection, one's on Wi-Fi and one's on cable, but we have got a Wi-Fi adapter in the second computer, so you can see Wi-Fi connections. In Windows 10 you get a big list. In Windows 11 you just get a boxed area, and if you want to get to the list you have to press the arrow to see more. So that's that one. Sound, you know, at the moment muted on both. Time, you can see so as you can see here, you've got the calendar on Windows 10. You've got notifications come up, so let me just click that again just to make sure I clicked in the right place. So here we've got the calendar and you've got some notifications there. So if I clear this, let's get rid of that. So yeah, so we've got the calendar here, and we don't see anything else at the moment regarding the calendar. Now the reason being is we don't actually have a Microsoft account linked to the computer at the moment. So this is a clean account that just works locally. Likewise, we have the same on the right. So we want to do this comparison with how the system works without any linked accounts. Because the last thing we want to do on YouTube is start showing what documents we're working on, where we're going to be next, etc. So that's the calendar part of Windows 10 and Windows 11. Then the next one, so you've got the quick access area. You've got all the pinned icons, and the same here. And now if we move on, so this one here, widgets. Now widgets, or essentially if you go back to Windows Vista or 7, they were known as gadgets. So you can have like the time, the weather, news information, sports results, etc. Me personally, I think what Edge does, if you use Edge, is more than sufficient. So you know what the temperature is. If you set this up, you got your news stories, conversion rates of currencies, etc. If you're going abroad, that information is there. So I'm not going to be one of those people currently using widgets. Now it all depends on how widgets develops over time. Then Teams, which is slowly the development of moving away from Skype, which has happened in the business world with Skype for Business moving to Teams. It's a nice transition or move. However, one caveat: in a home environment, Teams is only usable for people with Microsoft accounts with a mobile number linked to the account. And this is in 2021, so the 6th of November 2021, as of this date. We are hoping that this isn't a requirement going forward, because I've got 2 young children and they are using Skype currently. So if you're going to get a simplified messenger app or a chat tool replacing Skype, you know, or merging Skype into Teams, then not having mobile numbers for under 18s, under 13-year-olds, etc. would make sense, because that way, you know, they've got access to call when we're on the move. You know, they don't have mobile numbers. They don't have mobiles. They don't have mobile numbers. You know, it works from a computer. Don't get me wrong. But if you install Teams, the same Teams account on an Android device and possibly an iOS device, you do need a mobile number. So I'm hoping Microsoft do watch this, take note, and get that changed. Get rid of that requirement, because they know the age of the child when you register the account, and get rid of that necessity. As they get older, then make it a requirement when you're 18. But for under 18s, have that requirement taken away. Especially if you're in a Microsoft family scenario. Because they want to push 365, so they know who the parents are at the end of the day. Then we go to File Explorer, as we've got here. Now, one thing I didn't mention earlier is Windows 11 is all about the rounded corners, as you can see when I hover over the X. If I do the same thing on Windows 10, rectangles, sharp corners at the edges, which I have nothing against. You know, I don't mind any of that. And if you, let me get this right. See, I'm on a remote screen, so go across. Okay. And you can see, so it doesn't matter, depending on where you are in that corner or on that border. So it looks like within a boxed area, it will pick your mouse cursor up. And then you've got the icons, as you can see here, like you do on the old one of Windows. When I say the old one, Windows 10, shall we say. So that's that one. And basically, Windows 11 here, the icons have changed compared to here. So if I go into downloads, documents, here's a document we created earlier. If I create another one here, okay, I don't have Office on this one, so let me just, one thing I do like is to see what the file extensions are. So let's just turn that so we can see it's a text document there. Now, if you want to create a new file of random application in Windows 10, let's go back to 10, you go new, text document, etc. On Windows 11, you have to do right click, show options. Oh, sorry, new, it is new, and then you've got the ability to do the same. If you, this is what gets me. If you need to do other options, then you have to right click, show more options. Sorry, I clicked too quickly. So right click, show more options, and then you get the old school menu like you do here. And one option you do get is the ability to open Windows Terminal. Now, the feature with Windows Terminal, which I will come back to in a moment, is that you've got different kind of command line programs that you can run. So now in Windows 11 compared to Windows 10, there's one feature which I wish they didn't take away. The ability to right click and scan a file or folder. So in Windows 10 you can see here, scan with Windows Defender. Job done. In Windows 11 you have to show more options. Sorry, just bear with me. Show more options and then scan with Windows Defender. So you can see the difference there. And interesting enough, where it ends up, you end up with the option of default scan being selected at the end compared to custom scan and Windows 11. So small things, shall we say. So that's that one. We mentioned here, open in new Windows Terminal. Now this is something that's not available in Windows 10. So what you can do is you've got PowerShell here. So as you can see, PS. You've got the ability to add a command prompt and even others, you know, and even this will probably be less used in the home environment, Azure Cloud Shell. And if we just go into the settings, you know, you can mess around with the options here. Discard. Okay, let's just close. So this looks a bit like what Edge does, the browser. And if I hover in the corner, that stays rectangle, just so you know. But you can reorder these in theory. Let me just add another one. Another command shell, another PowerShell. So that moved. So it seems to be when it's just one. Let me just check it's not a bug. That would be very interesting. No, it worked. Okay, it just has to be right across. So you, within one window, if I minimize that, you've got both command line and PowerShell in one place. I'm just going to bring up command line in the new, the old version of Windows. Now, one thing that most people don't realize is the build number of Windows is this line here. So you can see Windows 11 is version 10.0.2200.282. Now, because it's got version 10, people would say, well, that's Windows 10. So if you were to do a check on the internet, what version of Windows am I running? Some websites might actually say that you're running Windows 10 instead of 11. Just one for thought, but because it doesn't say 11. And in fairness, Windows 8 was version 6.3 or something. So they just redone the number system when it was Windows 10. So I don't know why they didn't do that with Windows 11. So you can see this version of Windows 10 is from May 2021, and this version of Windows 11 is from October 2021. So the amount of changes between the versions is small in comparison, but the user interface is different. So that's that one. Next, you've got the you've already seen the backgrounds. You know, you've got the traditional looking through the glass appearance, and then you've got a flower here. Now, I'm not a flower expert, so I'm not going to guess if it's a blossom, a rose, or whatever. Somebody can correct me in the comments below. If you've got this far, thank you. So that's that one. And we've done File Explorer. Let's bring up the Windows Store. By the way, Windows Store is pinned normally, so I will keep it pinned for the rest of this video. So this is the store, as you can see, promoting the same content. The layout is similar, as you can see. And go from there. Basically, the icons have changed. So you got gaming there, you got gaming there, and as you can see, what's trending right now, shall we say? If you're an Xbox fan or a Windows gamer, take your pick. So that is Windows 10 and Windows 11 compared. You know, I could open individual apps like Calculator. You'll see that if I quickly do that, I don't see much difference with the Mail app and stuff. But in terms of the interface for these applications, they are very similar. It's just the rounded corners, shall we say. Most of the changes is just the Windows changes, shall we say. So that's that. Likewise, if I open Notepad and do the same on this one, nope. The icons have changed at the bottom, but the program itself is similar. You know, you can start typing away. There's not much difference in there. It's just those are basic apps. They haven't really changed much. It's just the borders and the title of the application that have changed. And there's something I deleted earlier as a test. And you can see Windows 11 is more about having things flat, shall we say. Apart from the rounded corners, the logo is flat, the recycle bin is flat, whereas in 11, in 10, it's three-dimensional, shall we say, from an angle. So we hope you found that useful, having a side-by-side comparison. If we have missed anything, please do let us know. You know, we could go into the settings. You know, I'll just quickly do that before shutting down. Display settings. Display settings there as well. And as you can see, very similar. It's just personalization. That you can quickly get to personalization here, but if you want to get to personalization in Windows 10, it's probably easier just to right click and go personalize, and then you can change your wallpaper and go and so on. Like I say, if there's anything I've missed, please do let me know. I will shut down and you can see the difference between both systems. Thanks for watching and have a great. Thanks for watching this video. If you found that useful, please click the like button below. If you found it unhelpful, click the dislike button below so we can get some feedback. And if you've got any future videos that you would like creating, please drop us a comment below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.